Did you know that over the last decade, EV adoption has grown globally by more than 50 times? Market share has gone from well below 1% to over 18% of all new cars sold. By 2030, that number is expected to increase to 30% of all new vehicles sold. EVs are finally catching their stride. But this revolution was anything but a smooth ride. It was built on some seriously bold dreams and more than a few epic flops and some seriously stubborn people. So here's how we got from zero to electrified. All right, in a recent video, we discussed the incredible and largely unknown history of EVs that dates all the way back to the early 1900s. Our story today, however, kicks off in the early 90s with a scrappy little sports car called the T0. Ever heard of it? Probably not, but it's one of the more influential EVs in our history. Built by AC Propulsion, the first iteration of the T0s used spiral wound lead acid batteries, years before lithium ion was an available option. The first T0s were neither practical or affordable, but they did their job by proving that electric cars could be both thrilling and even inspired some other dreamers. Two of those dreamers were guys named Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Later, they founded a little company you may have heard of named Tesla, but more on that shortly. By the mid-90s, GM was already rolling out its first production electric vehicle, the aptly named EV1. It was futuristic, sleek, and people were initially receptive to it, even despite its very quirky and aerodynamic styling. But GM eventually crushed the whole project. They didn't just cut it, they literally crushed it. They tossed the beloved EV1 into GM's baling press, one at a time. Fans were devastated, and some even accused GM of deliberately undermining the electric car program. After investing as much as $1 billion, GM said EVs just weren't profitable yet. But the real win here, the EV1 proved people were open to and even wanted electric cars. Now, let's fast forward to 2006, when a documentary called Who Killed the Electric Car hit theaters. The film blamed automakers, oil companies, and politics for EV setbacks. But that's just a conspiracy theory, right? They definitely wouldn't do that. Luckily, the film didn't just spark outrage, it sparked action and reignited public interest in EVs, which ultimately gave rise to new automakers. By 2008, Fisker showcased its concept car, the Karma, a gorgeous luxury hybrid that went into production by 2011. But technical failures, recalls, and bankruptcy ultimately ended Fisker's dream. Still, it proved plug-in vehicles had luxury potential. By the late 2000s, a few major automakers began to get serious about EVs. In 2010, Chevy released the Volt, while Nissan released the Leaf. Now, these weren't exactly instant hits, nor head turners, and due to limited charging infrastructure, they weren't even really that practical. But these models put EVs in ordinary driveways for the first time. And then, Tesla. The Model S smashed every expectation. Luxury, speed, and range. But perhaps most importantly, Tesla began building out a national charging network, much needed infrastructure to reduce range anxiety and increase mass adoption. The Model 3 then eventually made EVs mainstream, forcing everyone else to play catch up. Of course, not everything that Tesla launched became a smashing success. Yet Tesla's early success sparked a wave of other startups, all taking a slightly different approach with different audiences in mind. Rivian tackled adventure vehicles, Polestar aimed at my mom, and Lucid focused on ultra luxury and insane range. Suddenly, EVs weren't just practical or one-dimensional. And with several viable options on the market, there was actual choice for consumers. Sure enough though, as these startup brands pushed EV technology forward and began making serious inroads in consumer behavior, the big boys eventually came knocking. Over recent years, we've seen Ford launch the Mustang Mach-E and Lightning, while Volkswagen introduced the ID.4 and BMW the i4. As a side note, have you ever wondered why Ford chose the Mustang brand for its new Mach-E? Turns out they wanted consumers to associate it with performance and excitement, not just efficiency. This move worked out really well for Ford, expanding the Mustang brand and offering a high-performance EV option that was also efficient. For the most part, consumers were thrilled. Similarly, Dodge tried to electrify their iconic Dodge Charger lineup, but Dodge took a different route. Instead of using the Charger brand to expand their lineup, they replaced their gas-powered Hemi Charger entirely. This didn't sit well with Hemi enthusiasts.
No, don't like that.
Meanwhile, globally, EVs are growing at an even faster clip. China specifically has surged ahead, investing massively in charging infrastructure and affordable EVs. China is currently leading the world in EV adoption and production. So what's next? Well, several big manufacturers, including Toyota, Volkswagen, and BMW, amongst others, have begun investing heavily in solid-state battery tech, which promises to eliminate range anxiety, perhaps the biggest hurdle in widespread EV adoption. Meanwhile, EV interiors seem to be reverting back to a more tactile and familiar environment, rather than the stripped down, completely digital, and minimal aesthetic from just a few years ago. Perhaps these redesigned interiors are just the beginning signal that we're reaching a sweet spot. Decades of risky bets, bold dreams, and spectacular failures have brought us here. And from what we've seen, the next chapter will undoubtedly be the best and boldest yet. The electric revolution is just getting started. Don't forget to like, subscribe, stay charged up.